Can I ever get the moment in my zone?
Time for none other than Suicideboy. It's that time again. Time for some Suicideboys. I no longer fear the razor guarding my heel. I still don't know what that means, but it's part 5. It's you, it's me, it's Scrim, it's Ruby. We're gonna do this together. I can't wait for this. You know it's Tom Stevens, your mental health professional. Well, it's not, I'm your resident psychotherapist. That's what I am. I'm all for blustered. Reaction therapy, mental health awareness to the world. Scrim, Ruby, please bring it to me without further ado. Get your razors out, my friends. It is time.
I'll tell you a secret. Something they don't teach you in your temple. The gods envy us. They envy us because we're mortal. Because any moment might be our last. Everything's more beautiful because we're doing it.
Yes, sir! Come on. Did that beginning not kind of creep you out a little bit? Like it was this serious message of like, this is what's happening now. They fear us. They worship us. That was so weird.
Beautiful because we're doing it.
Come on. Oh man, I'm excited about today's sponsor in this video. Betterhelp, H-E-L-P, is our sponsor today. And let me tell you, I've talked a lot about Betterhelp. I've appreciated it myself because you know what? I've had stress, anxiety, felt overwhelmed, hard to manage all the stuff going on in life, and I went to Betterhelp. I was a client myself. I've sent many people there. I've had colleagues of mine that are friends who work with Betterhelp, who are therapists there, and I found a therapist in such a short period of time. The very first one they found for me was a home run. It was a perfect fit. All you have to do is fill out a few questions. They get back to you within a few days with the perfect match for you, and you know what? If you don't like that match, go find another one. It's as simple as that. You could call, you can text, you can do virtual appointments with them, and from the comfort of your own home. BetterHelp is the way to help you with anxiety, stress, depression, any kind of past struggles that you've had, to be able to find someone you trust to go through those tough parts of life and be able to make a happier and more successful tomorrow. And you know what? I've got one thing to add to it. It's going to make you happier. 10% off your very first month with BetterHelp is waiting for you if you just go to the link in this video in the description, or you go to betterhelp.com/reaction therapy. They will be there to help you. I promise you, it is an easy process. You can get help today. I did. You can do it. It is possible to find a happy future. I say it to people all the time, and I wouldn't say this if I didn't trust it, and I wouldn't put this out there to you unless I've tried it myself. So go there today, betterhelp.com/reaction therapy, 10% off your first month's subscription. I can't wait to see how it goes, and thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. Not even ghosts are this empty. Not even ghosts are this empty. And ghosts are like see-through, right?
Can I ever get the moment in my zone? I try and attract the risk in my life at this point. I should call me who bleed. And always the top of me bleed. I'm so overwhelmed, I'm betrayed. Back into the hole that I try to climb out of it. Always in touch of the feet. I'm addicted to sex, addicted to drugs. Really my devil will make me feel love. I don't care what you're thinking. I don't give a fuck. I'm still out there shining as bright.
The very first time I start getting anything from it, he's addicted to drugs. He's addicted to sex. Oh, Ruby. Ruby. Was too busy bouncing. Did y'all see all that? Like, it sounded like he was actually really talking about some serious stuff. And then, okay, where is it? Okay, we gotta get ready. Because I need to pay attention this time instead of bouncing all around. Let's do it.
Can I ever get the moment in my zone? Each moment that passes is fleeting.
Yep.
I try and attract the risk in my life at this point. I should call me who bleed.
Ah.
And always the top of me bleed. I'm so overwhelmed, I'm betrayed.
back into the hole that I try to climb out of. Like, you get in a hole in life, and this is pretty important messaging here, because in a world where bad things happen, you go through rough times, it could be addiction, it could be abuse, it could be trauma, it could just be a struggle in life, financially, personally, relationally, that sometimes we get in a hole and it's important to try to climb out. But when he's talking about, I'm backing into a hole, I'm going back into a hole that I tried to climb out of. And then the very next thing, it always ends up self-defeating. And self-defeating is like, I'm doing my own self in. And that's what I want people to know. Number one, that's normal. It's not awesome, but it's normal. It happens in life. Sometimes it's hard and we just want to quit or give up, or we just don't feel like we have the strength. So just hear me as a therapist. When I talk to people, it's okay. But what you need is help during that time. You need to be able to get some support, some encouragement, some guidance even, so that somebody can kind of walk you through the path of getting back out of that hole again. Sometimes we can't crawl out of the hole on our own. This is the most deep I think I've heard Ruby with the way he's talking about life. Always ends up with me bleeding. So good. If I don't let my demons out to breathe, I'll end up with some horns or a pair of wings. Like, this is like literally the most intense I've ever seen him talking about things. If I don't let my demons out, what he's saying is, if I don't, he's not saying that, I'm guessing. If I don't let this stuff out of my system, then I'm going to be doomed. Like, don't say no when I ask for the gun. Like, that means for real. And that means I'm going down or I'm going up. Going to heaven, going to hell. One of the two is going to happen, which means I'm not going to exist here on earth anymore. But I have to let these demons out. I have to get these demons out, or else. That's like a double-edged sword, right? Like, you feel like you have to keep using, you have to keep acting the same way, you have to keep the same patterns, or you're not going to exist normally. But really, you don't. You can stop these things. Come on, Ruby. Woo! Yep. Who? I don't even know who this is. Somebody else? Or is that Scrim? Yep. Another day working and wasting away the exact thing that I wanna buy. That's time. Yeah, I'm in that double love, falling the fuck about cooking up my friend alone. Strong enough for me, like grabbing along, cause my daddy just hit a new low for everyday bad news, everyday cash news. Fuck when I did this one. What was that about daddy? Play it strong on the phone, but I cry when alone. These are such good lyrics. Oh, if they play this at the concert, I gotta go. I just gotta go because my daddy just hit a new low. Play it strong on the phone, but I cry when alone. You ever do that? You just, act one way out here in front of you, and then I get off here, and all of a sudden I'm crying all alone by myself. You can't show your real self. Everyday bad news, everyday cash news. Fuck when I did this one every day. They fund that poetic shit, got the cold metal stick out to my brain. You didn't know it before me. Yeah, I just wanna run away. Yep. But all I ever do is run in place. The tears I cried, they could've iced my chain. And on the best days, I can feel my face. Next.
The worst part about hell is not the flames, it's the hopelessness. And I think that is the part of hell that a person in depression really tastes. The hopelessness, that terror, hopelessness.
That's actually pretty incredibly true. You know, I think it's not the flames, it's not the heat, it's the hopelessness. Like, that's it. The loneliness, the despair of just nothing left. It ain't the heat. Can deal with that, but it's the hopelessness.
It comes over. Everything is black.
You did good, sir.
Did good, Slick. That was fire. Those first two were fire. And that had to be Scrim in that second verse. But it's totally different voice the way he sang that. They're pouring it all out. Literally the best I've ever heard. I don't know what anybody else thinks, but this is literally the best. Maybe not the beat, because I've heard so many crazy beats from them, but the lyrics and the depth they've got going here. What's next? Ah, yeah. Finding shelter in my larynx.
I never got enough. Shark attacking album every summer like a mighty enough. Great gorilla, I'm gripping my Harambe nuts. How can I trust when my own
Gripping my Harambe nuts? I mean, look. Forget love. I just never got enough. That's the therapeutic bend there. Mental health. They've got to have had some good mental health treatment. The bend of like, I guess I never got enough. Like I wasn't loved the right way or got enough. So I'm just like, screw love. I don't want anything to do with it anymore.
Guess I never got enough. Shark attacking album every summer like I'm not enough. Great gorilla.
Like I'm odd enough. Like I'm not enough. Odd enough. Okay, look, I'm gonna let it run because I love them.
Shark attacking album every summer like I'm not enough. Great gorilla, I'm gripping my Harambe nuts. How can I trust when my own love be acting sus? I got feelings I can never feel. Keeping a blade up under my tongue just so I can guard my heel. Constantly.
That's it. That's it. Keeping a blade under my tongue so I can guard my heel. Blade, y'all. He's talking about the blood. Is they talking about Scrim and Ruby, like, because they're cousins?
Can never feel, keeping a blade up under my tongue just so I can guard my heel. Constantly eating pills like I never skip a meal. The most they wanna chill, but I just give them this to real.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
All these missed calls, text left on red. To the phone, it's usually who is this again? I can see it in their eyes that they see me as a check, as a threat. Fucking nagging on me, waiting on me to miss a fucking step. Baby, love to catch me slipping. Yeah.
This is so true. Like, just why bother answering the phone? It's just gonna be people who are like coming at me, trying to put me down, trying to get something from me, trying to wait for me to screw up so they can say something about me. So I just want to check out. I don't want anything to do with people anymore. These guys, this is 100%. It's a home run.
Fucking nagging on me, waiting on me to miss a fucking step. Baby, love to catch me slipping. Yeah, that's why I learned to fly.
Yep.
Trying to touch the sun before I fall to my demise.
Yep.
Scattered, I'm only buzzing because of the clouds. But I gained 1 million listeners on Spotify overnight.
Yeah. Woo. Come on. Yep. 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 Whoa. Come on. I do kind of wonder about that when it comes to just following up on the tongue with the razor blade thing, like how much, because that Achilles heel thing, you know, obviously when your Achilles is cut, you know, it's your weakest, most vulnerable point, and they're guarding that vulnerability by keeping the razor blade under the tongue. I never knew it was like under the tongue. And it also can be something that you actually really harm yourself with as well, to take yourself down. But when it says, I no longer fear the razor guarding my heel, if they're fearing the razor, that, you know, or it's the fear of something cutting you down and exposing your vulnerability. And so you keep that razor for defense. Very interesting though. This is really interesting in between music. Like church.
You did good, sir.
Yep. Most interesting video. I don't want this to end, y'all. I don't want it to end. This is too good. Screaming into the mic. I'm just going to keep rewinding so it never ends. A little trauma can be illuminating, and I'm shining like the sun. This is probably the most I've understood of what they say. A little trauma can be illuminating, can light you up a little bit. So if you have trauma, like it's going to light you up. Just a little can be illuminating, but I'm shining like the sun, which means I'm so bright, which means I've had so much flipping and frickin' trauma in my life that I shine like the sun. Am I the only one that finds humor in that? Not humor in that's great, but humor in how they put that together. Come on, come on, come on.
Lately I've been feeling like I don't know who the fuck I am. Trying to figure out what.
So mellow, and I'm gonna start it again and let it go. But this is so chill. It's like, man, I've just been trying to figure out, like, you know, who I am, where life's going. Like, between the stage, like it says here, the stage ends and I begin. I talk about people in my office. I talk to people a lot about their life. Like, where does your work end and your home life begin? Where does your stress end and your relaxing begin? Like, it's so important. This is the best mental health song the Suicideboys have ever created in my mind, at least of what I've heard. Because number one, it's fire how they put all these together. They expose vulnerabilities of themselves. And then secondly, and what people can relate to, secondly, they put this here where it's like, I'm trying to figure this out. And then they're doing it in such a chill way here, y'all.
I've been feeling like I don't know who the fuck I am. Trying to figure out where the stage is and I begin. To the bitter end, I proceed with a hollow heart. Cut my wounds and call it off. Watch me as I fall apart. Pull up calling and they wondering which word I play.
Yeah.
I say, but I want it, what you can't afford to say.
I say what I want and what you can't afford to say. Listen to this.
Watch me as I fall apart.
Especially that art part. I am so sorry. Especially that art part of like cutting myself up and then calling it art, you know?
With a hollow heart, cut my wounds and call it off. Watch me as I fall apart. Pull up calling and they wondering which word I play. I say, but I want it, what you can't afford to say. Unless I'm Molly Gray, but just I gotta say, I made the gang and I made the way and I made the wave and this here to stay. Yeah, picking a smile, I'm fixing it. I'm going up on my antidepressant. My girl is a brilliant bitch and is stressing about how I'm here, but I'm lacking in presence. I tell her I love you, but it's acting essence. And now I remember just who I am.
I'm not like fully here. I'm not totally available. I'm not completely present in what he's saying here. My girl's like, wait a minute. I want you to be here. And I'm speaking the words, but I'm not totally there with her. My girl's up early, griping, moaning, stressing about how I'm here, but I'm lacking in presence. You're in front of me, but you're not really here. You're here, but you're gone. It's important to know that in relationship. When did they write this music? this sounds like such current music for them, lyrics about them being more healed and understanding in relationship. Like, I'm not totally there. I'm not giving all of myself to this relationship. And that doesn't mean be weak. That just means if you're here physically, that's different than being here mentally and emotionally. And that lyric pops right there.
I'm going up on my antidepressant. My girl is a brilliant bitch and stressing about how I'm here, but I'm lacking in presence. I tell her I love you, but it's second essence. And now I remember just who I am. So give me a pill, some further away, and I'm going again.
Nope. Pills take you away. Their voices are. Take the pill, go away again. If I take the pill, it makes me feel better. I escape again. And that's what I think the girl's saying. Like, you take that and you go away emotionally. My type of vacation is isolation. Like, just let me go. Sometimes that's good. Sometimes it is good to escape and go away, but not when you're doing it with somebody else.
My type of vacation is isolation. I wanna be left alone, gonna see how long I'll hold until I get the fighting off temptation to self-annihilation. Holding myself out by all of this emotion I'm rocking. I give up and stop it, now it's all coming out. And get what kind of vomit, I wish I could get it out. Take away my stomach, fucking rip it all apart. The hurricane, you got me up there, you still my heart.
Gosh, y'all. Man, this is like really, I mean, I love their sound. I laugh, I joke sometimes about them, but these are pretty serious lyrics about, I don't feel like I have the capacity to give what I need to give. It is just hollow in here. I'm missing so many parts of what I need, that hollow cage of calcium that used to hold my heart. The heart is gone. It's disappeared. And that whole thing of like, I'm trying to talk this out, but it's just like verbal vomit. It's just stuff that's coming out. I don't even know what any of it means anymore. Just can't stop. It's just, blah, it's just all coming out. Listen to how he says this. Yep.
Now it's all coming out. And get what kind of vomit, I wish I could get it out. Take away my stomach, fucking
rip it
all apart.
Take it out. No, no. Woo. Now I'm depressed because it's over. Suicide Boys, I no longer fear the razor guarding my heel, part 5. Go to Patreon if you want more Suicide Boys. It is there. You get choices every week of what we put onto YouTube. I'm telling you, it's a good place to be. You get to pick and you get to hear more Suicide Boys every week. But look, this was clearly their best mental health track I've heard from them ever. Maybe it's because I'm hearing it different. Maybe it's because I've listened to them for a long time. Maybe it's because they wrote it different. I don't know, but it's got a lot packed into it. Tons of great mental health stuff in it. That's what we're about. It's not real therapy. It's just Tom breaking down their lyrics. If you want help, check the links in the description. Leave us your comments. Let me know what you think about this. And I'm telling you, if they play this at the concert, I got to be there. This was like literally my favorite song I've ever heard them play. Mental health matters. Yours does too. Let's go get some together. See you on the next Reaction Therapy.